chapter 10, I know it can seem that, okay, there's steering wheel, there's distance to the face, and that's it. But there are a lot of interesting cues from depth perception, where I thought this could be applied in Formula One, and it's it helps us understand like easily. So, monocular cues, it's how drivers visual is like this is their visual field. It's a 2D map that is an input of 3D things that is going on in the environment, that is 100 meters across. They are perceiving everything as a 2D retinal input in their eyes, that is monocular cues. So to firstly I wanted to talk about motion parallax. So when the driver moves and the nearer objects, like if there's a barrier 5 meters away from them, like beside them, it appears to flow significantly faster because they're going so quick. um, the brain can it's very important for them to calculate the depth and the relativity, like what if they crash, what if they don't. So that was very interesting to me, because if you see rookies when they are new, they always miscalculate this and end up in the barriers. So this calculation, they have motion parallax, they learn it becomes a very mechanical cue for them. They do it almost all the time, and it's a very interesting phenomenon if you think about it. And then there's racing lines are so important. Like if you think about it, all the tracks have the linear perspective where the tracks are parallel to each other the whole time. So in order to driver to maximize their speed, they need to catch a proper racing line in this parallel lines. So it's whether they catch the inside line or the outside line around the apex. So it's very important for them to understand the depth and the cue that they need to catch the perfect apex line, to have the perfect exit point, and have the perfect geometrically, like the perfect breaking point. They need depth perception, they need the cues in order to understand the racing line. They need to understand where they can maximize in the corner. And this can only happen with depth perception. So depth perception, yeah, there's steering wheel, but they are also calculating what is ahead of that 100 meters of that steering wheel. Even if the cockpit has a limited view, that they are able to look everything that is far away from them. And also, like, I wanted to talk about gradient texture. They need to identify what is there in the track, like within 100 meters, very quickly, because sometimes if an accident happens, there's debris on track. Sometimes if they have a slow reaction time, they are going to mistake it and go over it, and the car will have a damage. So they need to have like a proper judgment of braking distance, where there's on the surface of the track there's texture, like if there's like gravel, or there's some like debris that was left from the car that had an accident, or even like thermocol that just flew because of the wind. So they need to like look and have a proper understanding of the gradient texture. So all these cues help them to understand when they are driving. um, it's like a very interesting phenomenon how depth perception is so important. It's not just okay, there's distance in the car.